Rating Bureau. Before we start, I just wanted to just quickly put a disclaimer out there. This is not financial advice, guys. This is just what I'm doing, and I'm just sharing it. So do your own research and make your own conclusions and your decisions. And so let's get into it. Let's look at Bitcoin. So let's look at Bitcoin from the weekly chart. Now, this move we've done here is quite a good move. What we can see is, if you look at open interest for last week, for this week, or last week actually. So you can see your open interest is down, price keeps going up. That is a bearish sign. And price is also, so if I just make this bigger and just get this back here. So price got to a high of 68,351 and we've hit 68,451. So we've gone higher and now we are retracing backwards. Now a simple way of, I guess, taking a view is just to do fib retracement from here to there, which means your 50% falls around 60,000. So 60,000 between here and here is more likely where the price pullback will fall to. There is also a gap which needs to be filled on the CME chart, which is still sitting at, that gap is still sitting around the 58K mark, between 58 and I think 59K. So that is also an area of interest as well for the big people, with the big traders. So for me, I think my initial target is, for this particular week, Bitcoin's pullback, initial target for me is the 63,800. Now, where do I get my 63,800? So let's get rid of this. 63,800 comes from the previous week's high. So if we go and look at the previous week, it's the previous 4-hour candle, the daily. Where is it? So this candle here is the one I'm interested in. So the high of this candle, the low, sorry, of this candle, which is 63,800, and that's what I'm looking for. So somewhere there as a pullback. But I think we come and close the gap down here. The gap, there's a CME gap which is around the 58 mark. So I think that probably gets closed up. But for this week, I think the low of this candle, 63,800, is probably very, very likely. The 50-day moving average being tested is going to be my target for this week on Bitcoin. Now, I'm only going to talk about a few altcoins. So the one that I want to talk about is, I think, PENDLE. Let's look at PENDLE. So PENDLE on the weekly chart, and we can see it on the weekly chart. So we've done quite a big move here, but I think for me the thing that the move was quite rapid, and currently what we've got is big volume there, smaller volume, and you can see a lot of price push down, and now you're forming a very bearish candle here. So if you step down to 4 hours, you get to see really what I'm kind of talking about here. So you can see, as you can see, we kind of coming back down. There might be a bit of a bounce up, maybe back to about 430, 431, somewhere there, if you're lucky. But I think for me, ultimately, this thing comes all the way back down here. This is the place, that I expected, or at the very least here. So 350 as an initial target on this pullback, and that will give you a beautiful lower high. If you can get a lower high like this one here, so if you can get a lower high, like let's say here, you fall into there, you've gone up there, and you come back down to somewhere here, 350, that's a lower high, and then potentially that gives you the sling off, something like that. So that's what I'm looking for anyway. So that is a PENDLE for you there. And then I've got tier. So tier is also one that I'm looking at. So tier, after its beautiful move to the upside on the daily chart, you can see big beautiful move, retraced, double bottom type scenario, sling off, go higher. So this is like, I'd say this is level initial rise, 2, 3, and then you have like a swing up. I call it the swing up. So you got a swing up here. Volume on this candle, as you can see, reasonable volume. I mean, today is not ended, so it depends on how the day ends today. But if the volume is this small here, then Pendle retraces back to about the 685 mark, which is what I'm expecting. If we also go on 4 hours, you can see that on 4 hours we've done the sort of levels that I expect to see. So that's your 1 level there, that's your kind of 2, all this is 2, and if we can, so all this here, that's 1, that's 2, and then you needed a third higher figure, which you've now got here, right? So you retrace backwards. So with with tier, I expect tier to retrace backwards to that 685 area, and then when it gets there, we'll see how that pans out and decide the next course for tier. And then the last, I've got one more, which is PEPE. So PEPE is another one which we are trading at the moment. And this 4 hour chart is quite beautiful. So what you can see there is that's one move to the upside here. You've got one move there. Then you have this, another move, yeah. Then you have a kind of like a blow off top there. Then you retrace a third move. So we've done our kind of 3 push-ups. So 1, 2, 3. Retrace back, lower high. So you have a lower high. Now you come back down. So I expect PEPE to come back down at the very least to the 1085 area. 1085 to test this 200 moving average. So that will be another good trade on PEPE as well. That's all I've got in terms of crypto. I just want to quickly speak about the Dixie. So Dixie, where is my Dixie? It's probably on my market forecast list. Yeah, so Dixie here. So Dixie is an interesting one. On this 4 hour chart, let's make it bigger so we can see what's going on here. So you can see we're falling here, falling here, falling there. And our RSIs are getting higher and higher. We've done I call this the initial move, right? So the initial move, and this move is almost like comparable to this move here. And we're going to pull back. We pulled back a little bit. My target for the pullback was around 103.6. The pullback got to 103.76. I do expect this to continue going up and test the 200 moving average, to give you a level 2. So a level 2 there. And if that plays out, then, you would expect to see a level 3 as well, right? If it breaks this 200 moving average on this 4 hour chart, then the Dixie is more likely to go all the way up and test the top part here and maybe exceed it before we can properly come down. So that's what I'm watching on the Dixie as well. And I think it ties into the fact that the equities and stocks and everything else is obviously in a sell-off mode. And I think the Dixie rallies. And then after that, we have a kind of proper rally on all these kind of risk assets. So that's my kind of projection on Dixie as well. So that's all I've got for you guys this week. Well, just one more trade I've got, which is gold. So gold, here we go. So gold is another interesting one, right? So what you've got here, and I think if I go on high time frame, you can see this is the weekly candle, and that's a stopping candle. Okay, so and what we've done basically is we've kind of rallied back up a little bit, and now we are on our way back down. So I expect that this thing continues going down. If we do a 50% retrace of this move right from here to there, so put your kind of favorite retracement there and bring it all the way down here. 50% gets you to about 2149. So this is a big move coming down on gold. You know, if you aim for middle of the gap here, somewhere here, 2192, this is a trade I'm in. So and I'm running it all the way down. So I think it comes all the way back down to somewhere here, maybe in the middle of the gap here, maybe 2000. But I'll be monitoring on a week by week basis, and I'll give you guys an update as I go along. Okay. Well, that's all I've got for you. So have a good week and God bless.